Hi
Kakalinda.
guys, you're welcome back to my video. In today's video, I'll be talking about Australia. It is no news that the government of Australia has opened its doors for overseas workers to come and work in Australia as caregivers and nurses. And on the 14th of this month, the government just made it possible for caregivers to start the skill assessment for nursing support officers and personal care assistant. So if you are in your home country and you are interested to work in Australia as a nursing support officer or a personal care assistant, you can now begin with the skill assessment. And the government of Australia has chosen a particular body called the ADMAC that is going to be responsible for this skill assessment. They are going to evaluate you to see if you are able, if you are fit to work as a nursing support officer or a personal care assistant in Australia. And they do this using 5 criteria. For example, the first criteria will be to check on your proof of identity. The second criteria will be to check on your English language proficiency. The third criteria will be to check on your educational equivalence. The fourth criteria would be to check on your professional practice. And the last criteria will be to check on your fitness to be able to work. So those are the 5 criteria. So guys, if you are interested to work as a nursing support officer or a personal care assistant, please, this is an opportunity for you. You just need to go to their website, admac.org.au, and apply. In this video, I will be explaining what you have to do, how you have to do it, and the things or the documents you need to send in. So guys, let's go to my computer or let's go to my screen so that I can show you guys in detail what you have to do. Let's go. So guys, we are now on the home page of ADMAC. ADMAC is the authority that has been chosen by the government to do the assessment for the nursing support officer and the personal care assistant. So if you want to check on them, you can just go to Google and type admac.org.au. That is their website, admac.org.au. I will also drop a link to their website on this video. So guys, let's read further. When you go a little bit down on the page, you'll see something like overview on your left hand side. So it reads, as a government approved assessing authority, ADMAC is responsible for conducting assessment that ensures a potential migrant skills meet the industry standards required to work in a relevant occupation, with outcomes used to inform the Department of Home Affairs on skills migration visas. This is that, or they want to explain that ANMAC is the organization or the authority that the government will use to assess or to do this skill assessment, and no other organization. So you have to do everything with ANMAC. And it goes further to read, who we assess. We assess the skills of internationally qualified nurses, internationally qualified midwives, international graduates who have completed nursing and midwifery program in Australia or New Zealand, who have completed their program and are registered in Australia and or New Zealand. So guys, this is what they do. And if you want to go a little bit further, you can still read, because it is very important to read everything. What we do, we undertake robust criteria-based assessment of your applications to determine whether you have the necessary nursing or midwifery qualification and relevant experience required for migration to Australia. That is, they look at your qualification to see if you can be able to work in Australia. To work in Australia, nurses and midwives must register with the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Australia and meet the NBBA registration standard. Nurses and midwives applying to migrate to Australia may be asked to provide information about their eligibility to register with the NMBA. The NMBA registration process is independent and separate to ANMAC skill migration process. They want to explain that if you are a nurse or a midwife, they have a different procedure. So nurses and midwives have to channel in their application to a different direction. They don't do it with the ADMAC. And if you are a nurse or a midwife in your home country, you do not need to do the skill assessment, but there is a way they will check your document. You have to channel it to another direction. We'll go there later on. So let's read a little bit further. What we do not do. ADMAC cannot and does not register nurses or midwives. This is a function of the NMBA. As I said earlier, if you are a nurse or a midwife, you have to channel your application to NMBA. Find employment for nurses and midwives. They don't help you to look for employment for nurses and midwives. Provide advice on how to get or maintain registration in Australia. Provide information or advice on visa on migration matters. Help you to find migration agent. Provide information or advice on employment or industrial relation matters. Deliver nursing and midwifery education or training. These are the things that they will not do. These are the things that they will not help you to do. Now, if we go back a little bit on top of the page, the next thing we have to look at is the assessment criteria. This you can find on the left side of your page. Let's click on the assessment criteria to see what it says. When you click on the assessment criteria, another page will pop up like this, and you will see the criteria or the things that they need for you to set in so that you can do this skill assessment. And let's read together. ADMAC use 5 assessment criteria when assessing suitability for migration to Australia. Applicant must meet all 5 criteria to be determined suitable for migration. So before you become successful with this skill assessment, these are the things you have to fulfill. Number 1, proof of identity, English language proficiency, educational equivalence, professional practice, fitness to practice. So these 5 things, you must be able to fulfill them before you can be able to be successful with this skill assessment. And if you read further, it states, what if I do not meet up all the 5 criteria? Let's read together. If you do not meet up all the criteria, you will be determined by ADMAC to be unsuitable for skill migration as a nurse or a midwife. We will provide you with an explanation as to why you have been determined unsuitable. So if you cannot meet up with these 5 criteria, then you will not be able to be successful with this assessment. And it reads further, ADMAC cannot provide advice on what you need to do to become suitable for migration. To find out what further education and training you need to become suitable, contact the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Australia and inquire about their registration process. So please guys, this is what you have to do if you are not successful with the skill assessment. You can apply to be assessed again 2 years. You can apply to be assessed again 2 years from the date stated in your ADMAC issue determination letter. So after you are done with the skill assessment, they will issue you a letter. And if you are not successful, you can only try again after 2 years. So guys, let's go a little bit on top of the page so that we can look at these criteria because they are very important. The first one is the proof of identity. Let's click on it so that we can see what we have to provide. When you click on it, another page will pop up like this, and it reads, the applicant can establish that they are the person on which the skill assessment will be conducted. All applicants must provide biostatistical page of passport. They just need your passport, change of name documents, marriage certificate, degree, indeed, blah, blah, blah. A quality passport size photo taken in the last 6 months. I think this one is very clear. And they say see requirements for scanned copies. If you click here, you will see the requirement they need. Should in case you need to scan your passport, they need a particular format. So guys, you click on this to see what they need. And the next one is English language proficiency. I think what they need here is just International English Language Testing System. They need ICE, and they also need they said ADMAC only accepts test results from 1 testing setting or a maximum of 2 test settings in a 6-month period only if the applicant achieves a minimum overall score of 7 in each setting and no score in any component of the test is below 6.5. So guys, I think they need ICE, and they also need OET, Occupational English Test, OET for nurses. So guys, if you can make it available to have your ICE or the OET for nurses, that is also very important. And they need person test of English, PTE. So guys, I think for the English requirement, they are asking for three things. You can either have the ICE, or you have the OET for nurses, and the third one is person test of English, PTE academic, which means they have given you so many. There's also another one, the TOEFL. They have 4 tests you can use to prove your English language proficiency. So guys, you can just choose any of this one and make it available to them. But I believe the most common one is the ICE. So please, if you can get your ICE, then you are free from this English proficiency issue. So guys, let's go now to the educational equivalence. So when you click on the educational equivalence, another page will pop up like this, and let's read together. The applicant can demonstrate meeting current Australian nursing and midwifery educational standard. All applicants must provide graduation certificate and basic transcript from all nursing and or midwifery qualification obtained in Australia and overseas. Full skills assessment applicant must also provide a university transcript that contains a breakdown of the territorial and practical hours completed. See requirements for scanned copies and or checklist of required documents. They just want to explain that if you have your certificate and transcript, just send it to them. That is what they want. All applicants must provide certificate and basic transcript. You cannot provide just your certificate, and you cannot provide just your transcript. So you have to join the both of them to be able to be qualified for educational equivalence. So the next thing we have to look at is the professional practice. Let's click on the professional practice. When you click on it, you see something like this. So let's read together. The applicant can demonstrate practicing as a nurse or a midwife in the 5 years preceding their application date. So please, you must have an experience, let's say, for 5 years. If you want to read further, you can read everything here, but they want you to have an experience for 5 years. So let's read. Work experience will be reported on your outcome letter if the content is suitable and meets either of the following criteria. A minimum of 12 months paid Australian work experience, at least 20 hours per week, and a minimum of 36 months paid international work experience, at least 20 hours per week. This is just to say that you need to have work experience. If you want to read more, you can just read everything on this page, and you will get a full understanding of what they are trying to say or what they need from you. And let's go to the last criteria, fitness to practice. When you click on the fitness to practice, another page will pop up like this, and it reads, the applicant can demonstrate that they are fit to practice without restriction. You know that if you want to work like a nurse, or if you are going into work as a support officer, a nursing support officer, or a personal care assistant, you must be able to be fit to work. And it reads, a verification of registration or certificate of good standing letter confirms your registration, good standing, and fitness to practice as a nurse or midwife. This is to be supplied by the organization responsible for registering nurses and midwives in each country or jurisdiction. So if you are in your home country and you have been working, you just need to go to the board of which you are registered to, and then you ask them, please, I need a certificate to prove that I'm qualified to work, I am fit to work, I'm physically fit, I'm mentally fit, I'm emotionally fit to work. That is what they need. If you want to get more information, you can just read here and you will see everything. So guys, those are the 5 criteria. And if you want to go further, you just need to go a little bit on top of the page, and we'll go to the next stage. Now, when you go to the next stage, it reads the assessment process. Let's click on the assessment process. When you click on the assessment process, now it tells you what they will be doing. The first thing they'll be doing as regards to the assessment process is review application detail and supporting material. They will try to look at your application and the documents in which, or the documents you have sent in in order to see if you fit in or not. Let's read together. The assessment team reviews your application form and supporting documents. We will verify the information you have provided by contacting education providers and or employers. You will receive an email from ADMAC if the information you have provided is sufficient. This is to tell you that they will look at the information, your application, all the documents you have sent in, and try to check if they are valid, if they are genuine, and they will contact you to see if everything is okay. If you do not submit documents within 12 months, your application will expire. This is to say they will check at your documents as to see if there are any missing documents, and they will contact you. And if you do not submit these documents after 12 months, your application will expire. The next stage they will do is determine suitability for the purpose of skill immigration. The assessment team determines whether you meet all 5 assessment criteria. If you meet all criteria, it is likely you will be found suitable for skill migration. This does not guarantee a visa. When they check on your application and your documents, they will know if you meet up with the 5 assessment criteria or not. And when that is done, they will contact you and tell you, please, you are successful. When you are successful, the next thing they will do is to issue a letter of determination. That is the third stage. ADMAC will email you an electronic copy of your letter of determination. This letter is valid for a 2-year period from the date of issue. So when you are done, when you are successful with the 5 criteria, the next thing they have to do is to issue you a letter of determination. This letter will state that you have been successful, or you are successful with the skill assessment, and now you can apply to work as a nursing support officer or a personal care assistant in Australia. This is very good. So guys, those are the steps of what they do. You can also go a little bit down and you look on this video and you check on this video. They say please see our video on how to make a request online. That is a very important video. I think you need to watch that video. And if you go a little bit up, you will see direct skill assessment on your left hand. When you click on the direct skill assessment, it takes you now to another page where you get so many information about what you still need to know. And it reads, please note, this assessment does not get you a job in Australia. It also does not guarantee your migration to Australia. You will need to find work with an employer who has signed an aged care industry labor agreement. So guys, when you get this, when you are successful with your skill assessment, it doesn't mean that you already have the job in Australia or you have a visa to go to Australia. No, you have to look for a job. And it reads further, do you qualify for migrant skill assessment? ADMAC will assess application for nursing support officer and personal care assistant. I said this before. And now there is a cost to it. The cost of this assessment is 545 Australian dollars. So guys, there is a cost to this. If you want to do a skill assessment, know that there is a cost to this. To apply, you must have a certificate 3 minimum qualification in a relevant field obtained overseas, including nursing related study or study in aged care. This is just to tell you, you must have a certificate to prove that you have studied something in relation to nursing or aged care, or full-time paid work experience of at least 12 months in a relevant area completed in Australia or overseas within the last 5 years, including nursing-related work or work in an aged care setting. If you are in your home country, they require you to have been able to work or to have a working experience for at least 1 year, which is very important in the relevant skill. If you are a nurse, you must have been in that field for about 1 year. So that is very important. Relevant means of course or work experience where direct care roles and responsibility are focused. This does not include disability support or child care. Here they're just trying to tell you that you have to be able to prove that you have been working in this field for not less than 1 year or 12 months. So this, if you want to read further, you can just read again further. And when we go a little bit down, there's one important thing, and it reads steps for a direct care occupation skill assessment. So these are the steps. These are the things you require to be able to setting. Guys, these people are just trying to explain everything to you so that you don't need an agent. You can do this yourself when you go to admac.org.au. That is the website, and everything is boldly written. So guys, the following information and steps may help you to minimize delay in the assessment process. See our checklist. Here you can check on the checklist so that you know the required documents that you will be able to submit. And the next one is read requirements for scanned copies before submitting. They also give you the requirements for scanned copies, how you need to scan your documents, and the things they need before submitting your document. And there is also a video that can also help you to upload your documents with ADMAC. This you can watch it up on YouTube. So you see these three things here. See our checklist, required for scanned copies, and resources, and a video. Please, these are the three things you have to click on so that you can read to know what you have to do. And they say the first step, if you are using your overseas nursing qualification to apply for direct care occupation skill assessment, you will need to arrange for professional registration verification to be emailed to verification@admac.org.au. This means if you are using your nursing qualification and you are in your home country, please, the people who offered you that qualification has to send it directly to verification@admac.org.au. You don't have to send it yourself. Go to the issuing authority so that they can send it directly to them. That's what they are trying to say. Where email is unavailable, the relevant authority can post the verification directly to ADMAC. If the authority that issue you this nursing qualification or this qualification to work as a nurse, if they don't have an email, they can post it to them. And when you click here, you will see the postal address. You don't need to post it yourself. If you post it or if you send it with your own email, it will be rejected. And next, the supporting document. Step 2, collect the scanned copies of the following original supporting document. So the step 2 is talking about the supporting document. Biostatistical pages of passport, 2 other official identity documents. Those are the things you have to send. Change of name, if you have changed your name, an official passport size photograph, if applicable, graduation certificate and transcript. They are very important. I think it's very important to send your transcript and graduation certificate, and also agent declaration form. But it reads, if you are employed by an agency, you will need to provide ADMAC with a service statement from your employer detailing dates and hours of employment and a professional reference letter by a nurse who has supervised you in your role and personal care assistant or nursing support officer. Guys, so that is what you just need to do. And when you go to step 3, they say create an account on the login page of ADMAC website. You can only apply once using the same email address. Please use different email addresses for multiple applications. So if you want to do multiple applications, you need to have different email addresses. But if you want to apply just once, you have to use the same email address. And now step 4, they say complete the direct care occupation skill assessment application by completing the online form, processing your credit card payment. No, there's a fee you have to pay, 545 Australian dollars. Checking you received an email from ADMAC confirming successful receipt of your application and payment. Contacting us if this confirmation email is not received within 24 hours. So if you are applying and you have paid your application fee and you have not received any confirmation email, please try to contact them. And when that is done, contacting us if this confirmation email is not received within 24 hours. This is very important. Uploading your supporting document once payment is confirmed by going to my account section in the ADMAC portal. Contacting us if you experience difficulty with documents upload. So if you want to upload your documents and you're finding it difficult, please, you need to also contact them. And when you get to the bottom of this page, the next thing you have to do is to start your direct skill assessment. When you click on the start your direct skill assessment, another page will pop up like this. And now you are starting your skill assessment. They said register for an account. The first thing you have to do is just to create an account. And here we are. You fill in your email address, you fill in your password, you confirm your password, and remember you have to create a new password. And you click I'm not a robot, and then you click register. When you are done with that, it will take you to another page where you will fill in your details, and that is that. So guys, this is very easy. They explain everything detail it. So guys, what are you waiting for? Just apply now and get your skill assessment done so that you can get a job in Australia. On my next video, I will be showing you care homes or website where you can search for jobs. Thank you for watching and see you on my next video. Bye.